You know what I mean? Like
I
that's
see.
how it happens to everybody. You know what I mean? Like
Everyone.
it happens to
We
everyone.
get comfortable,
For sure.
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah, you do.
we get comfortable in that. You know, we've talked about it on here before. And I think there's a quote recently that someone said somewhere, and it was like, you know, life and I think jobs, everything, all that shit, it just is like, it's like a bribe for your dreams.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I get
like,
it, yeah.
like your regular 9 to 5 type job, that salary is a bribe
Right.
to forget about your dreams.
Fuck your dreams, yo. Come fuck with us. Come
You
fuck
know?
with death, bro.
Because once you start, no, I mean pretty much, it is, yo. It's the same shit, if not maybe worse. Like, as you start even really, before you even, I think your brain is even fully developed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're already just redirecting your whole energy, like in school and all that shit.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? By the time you still can't even make, like, I don't know. I think, yo, it took me a while. Like, obviously we're still all growing and shit like that. But it's like, yo, fam, at 16, 17, 14, 15, you're supposed to be making decisions about your life, about where you want to go after
For the
high
next
school.
40 years.
Yeah, all that shit. Like, your brain's not even close to being fully developed yet.
No, that's facts.
And with all that, you're literally just forgetting about your dreams. And you're doing it obviously a lot before that because, you know, life, school, parents, and all that. And then it's just like they don't even talk to you about that. They don't even talk to you about your visions.
What's a dream to a motherfucker that's just trying to survive?
Of
No,
course,
I
yeah.
agree
Yo,
with
that shit. You know how hard it is to dream. Bro, I can't sleep tonight. I gotta watch 10 other kids at 10 years old.
Right?
Bro, I gotta cook for them and clean for them, bro. Like,
I'm hungry.
I cannot dream, bro. Dreaming is for suckers.
That's what they say.
Yo, that shit is hard. Like, it's so hard to do that, bro. And I'm like, yo, and I'm not, it don't even matter, like, in the city. Like, people go through their own black clouds in life. So it's like, you can be anywhere in the world and face that type of situation where it's like,
black
yo, I
cloud for
can't,
you.
yeah, I can't have a dream. I cannot afford to dream right now because reality is dreams aren't going to pay the bills.
That was the key
Yeah.
right there. I can't afford to dream.
No, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
That's hard,
Yeah,
man.
because you're like, all right, I want to do this, I want to do that, but like, how are these bills gonna get paid? Because sometimes you don't want. It's not that you don't want to take the risk. You can't take the risk.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
just can't.
My man, he said it. Your man said it. Yeah, June said it. He said, yo, risk reward. And I mean, sometimes the reward is not worth the risk. It's like, yo, the reward would be great. But you know how much I'm risking right now to be like, yo, fuck cooking tonight for all y'all, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going out to chase this dream. I really want to be a model. Like, my only shot in the world is to go tonight. Nah, you can't do that. Like, you gotta babysit because your mother wanna go party, or your mother gotta be at work. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we always be like, that's what they show on TV. Like, oh, the mother wanna party, the father nowhere to be found. How about both them motherfuckers got night jobs and morning jobs? So we need somebody to
We
take
need
care of these
somebody.
kids.
For sure.
Right?
That's why we had 6 of y'all back to back.
Right?
And let's not talk about the coincidence of that because it's like, you know, I mean, if you read just as much as me, which I'm sure you
Right.
probably do, we know that young black and brown youth have a higher rate of poverty,
Right.
especially in America.
Right.
And this is not a coincidence. You know, we know about redlining. We know about pushing all folk to certain area. We know about gentrification. You know
Right.
what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying? And
definitely.
the realities of being black and brown, living in this world and living in poverty and generational poverty.
Right.
And so you had spoke about on the Roadshow Talkers, you had spoke about building generational, like something that like you could kind of pass down. Yeah, yeah.
Generational wealth.
Yeah, and having something where it's like, yo, like, you don't gotta start from the behind the start line, you know, while everybody, your privileged friends or all the people, like, they got money, they can do certain things, because it's like, yeah, like, money ain't everything, but you damn straight is gonna buy you some privilege.
You definitely need, you need it a
You know?
little bit.
Money can mess
I
you
like
up,
that.
too.
I feel like
Oh,
money.
no, it definitely can. But what's crazy is that we've gotten so used to, like, the lifestyle we all, you know, kind of grew up on, not us, our parents and all that stuff is, we don't teach our kids, we don't give our kids anything. We make them start over.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a really, really good job and you were working for NJ Transit all your life, you make them start over. You tell, oh, you got to go find that good job. You got to go, like, why? Why can't you create something?
Yo, we are the
pass
only
it on
we're the
over.
only people that be like, yo, I can't wait till you turn fucking 18 to get the fuck out of my house, bro. What?
I've heard that so many times.
Yo, what you mean? Like, yo, if I stay here till 25 with this good job, man, we gonna be eating good, and then I'm gonna be able to never ever come back.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like we kick them out before they can fly, or even before they know they got wings.
Or even better, you don't build with them. You just
Nah,
let
yeah,
them.
I mean, but don't get me wrong. Like Nat said, like a lot of this shit is trained and put in your head to where this is just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like I said, like money would be the lot, like something you want to teach your kids and give them to basically fall back on. But I feel like that's one of the last things, bro. Like if you can teach them how to make whatever is needed, then you winning. Like I want to give my kids so much abundance of knowledge that if we change this shit today to like, yo, if you find this shaped rock, this is what we run. This the money right now. That motherfucker know exactly where that rock is found at, the most of them, and he gonna go get that shit. You know what I mean? I want to teach you how to learn. Like we don't teach kids how to ask questions and shit like that.
You make an amazing point because, you know, like you have a 10-year-old son, so I'm sure that you're trying to instill these things into
Right.
them. But a thing we have at home, because you talk about not having like conventional thinking, and it's like I don't share my things with a lot. There's things you don't know about me that I don't tell you. I didn't tell you on purpose because I have to tell you eventually. But you know, you don't teach your kid what to think. You teach
Right.
them
How
how
to
to think. How to think critically, and when it comes to critical thinking, you're funny. When it comes to you're throwing up Illuminati signs back there. But critical thinking and
We know where
that
that
questioning,
It's the old senior eye.
you're funny, is paramount to their development. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Asada Shakur, she talks about you have to be an idiot for me to believe somebody else to tell me who my enemy is.
Right. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that you teach that way as far as like how to think? I mean, like to think basically, and not what to think, because you know that you can help with answers, and you think other people don't teach the kids like to ask questions because they feel like if they can't answer it, it's gonna be a problem.
It's okay to say I don't know.
Nah, but it's not
But-
to some people.
But yeah, but that's my thing. My biggest thing is it's okay that I don't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm okay with not knowing certain things because there's things you know, there's things you don't know, and
Right.
there's things you don't know.
That's facts.
All right. So when it comes to dealing with kids, my daughter's in the why phase right now,
Right.
and I try to really give a breakdown into everything, like everything about what she's trying to get, but break it down to her level. You know, kids are like pyramids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that foundation needs to be built strong in order for that next level to come, you know, and kind of keep building on it. And so when I think about like you had just like why I teach that, I do it because I know that that's not being told in school. It's not
Right.
something that I was taught. I had to read through books and books and books that people was quoting me on for me to go back and be like, that's not what it says. I've read
Yeah.
it cover to cover. You
Right,
can't
right.
tell me what it says. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me what to believe, like, because it's illogical. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to convince me that something is logical when in fact it is not. And I don't want to have an adult, my child be an adult and look back and be like, damn, you
Yeah.
told me things that were not true.
Right.
And now I have to go back into the world and I have to deal with reality. Like you said, like you was teaching me dreams when in the fact, like, I'm not saying you can't dream, but what I'm saying is you're not being realistic in the sense that they're going to be able to go out into the world and survive and have to unlearn all these things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what my head was at, you know. I don't want her to have to unlearn all these bad habits and all these falsehoods when I could just teach her things that are factually true.
Right.
In that sense.
I think for this generation, we're gonna be different parents though, because we see it differently. Like people make money differently now, all different ways.
Yeah.
People make money all different ways now, and like we gonna like not teach our kids the conventional ways to like think and like you gotta go to college, you gotta go get
Yeah.
a
That's a
job
different
after
way.
that. Then you know basically get a house and get a kids and get married and all that.
Mhm.
It's not really like that. It shouldn't be like that. Like you really should like run your money up doing exactly what you love,
For sure.
and then just do exactly what you want with life. So
No, you're right. It's definitely. I think it's definitely a different time. But I think that's what it's supposed to be. I spoke on the Real Shit Talkers about indigo children, and I think we have. I don't think everyone understands what it is, but you understand it inside of you. Like, you don't consciously think about an indigo child, but you look at the children like, yo, these motherfuckers are different. You know what I mean? Like, I always say, like, you can tell how great kids can be, like the generation of kids, like whatever you want to call them, baby boomers, whatever you want to call them. You can see how great the potential is, the more distractions come out during those times. How many video games it is and how much access they have. Like, yo, come on, yo, 5-year-olds got phones.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
damn
I think
phone
that's
at 5 years old.
unreasonable.
Bro, my first phone till I was in the 10th grade.
We were talking about that shit the other day, me and Zane.
Bro, yeah, my shit was a prepaid.
Yeah.
My shit damn near prepaid now. Like,
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
you feel me? Like,
Smart.
shout out to Metro PCS, give me a deal.
Hey, I got Metro too, yo.
Yeah,
Get
man,
ready.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Give us
I
the
got
bag.
boost.
Yo, they gave me the free Prime, what you call it, account for the Amazon.
Yeah, me too, man. We got that
for
shit.
Metro, yo, you get a free Prime. I'm like, what, for $60? What you winning?
But hey, also, you know, since I work at Sprint, we do got some good dope deals. We got some dope- I'm just saying that because the bad thing with Metro is you gotta buy
Just
the
in case
phone
they
straight
catch
up.
your
You know what I'm
show,
saying?
like,
Yeah,
yo,
just
I
in
got
case.
Metro, but I shouted this
Yeah, I
out.
gave us a shout out. Nah, but for real, you know what I mean? I get you 2 lines for like $50. But anyway, besides that, what's up?
You don't get a discount for Sprint, bro?
Do I get a discount? Nah. I used to. I don't get a discount no more. They hate
They
it.
stopped giving the discounts
They
out.
hating.
I said, fuck that.
Yeah.
But other than
money.
that, actually, speaking of discounts, anyone who's listening to this, you about to get not even a discount, you better get a free book. All right?
Well, that's
Yeah,
dope.
word. No, I'm just saying, since we're talking about, you know, discounts and stuff like
Fuck
that
it,
in
yo.
Metro.
Free is for me. That's how I
Yeah,
roll,
so
man.
if you listening to this, yeah, bang, we just got you a gift, yo, for our 100th episode. It's a free book, free audio book. You can go on audibletrial.com/therapywithoutadegree.
Oh, I didn't know you was handing stuff out for free, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I would have gave something out to somebody too.
It's all right. They could do it.
cool.
We'll pick
Yeah,
someone.
we'll figure
Raffle.
something out, yeah.
We'll
Got the
figure.
3 hours.
Yeah, we'll do a raffle.
Oh yeah, we do got them 3 hours. I had one 3 hours to this place that hosts events. And basically all you gotta do is book an hour for like $50 and you can host an event out of it, like whatever kind of stuff you do. I think it seats like 40 people. It's in
okay.
Belleville. Basically after
Right
you,
here.
yeah, like basically after you pay for the hour, they send you a code for 3 hours and you can book it before March. And then basically you got a space, like a decent sized space to do a little event at. Maybe we can do that.
Stay tuned, yo. Stay
Yeah,
tuned.
yeah, Rose Productions, I'm pretty sure that's the name
Yep.
of it. So yeah, pretty dope.
And then, so tell us about the other brands and stuff like that. The other logos. What else? you got going on, man?
I got this misunderstood one that I'm really I feel great about it, honestly. Yeah, I like.
Misunderstood is much,
Yeah,
right?
the misunderstood one is pretty dope. The I'm underrated one is pretty dope to me too. There's a few of them that I really like. I don't like. I was telling June. I feel like we just talked for like 5 hours in the car. It was like 30 minutes. But I was telling him like, yo, certain things you don't see it being promoted because you have to really be prepared when you open certain doors. You know what I mean? Like I wanna push Black Cloud because if you can put a percentage on where Black Cloud is, I'm at like fucking, I would say 20%. Like I didn't really make.
You didn't even go in yet.
Yeah, I didn't really. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I think the logo is what holds me like good. You know what I mean? Like 20% is not great. You know what I mean? But it keeps people attentive to what's going on.
Exactly. And the meaning behind it, man.
Yeah, all of that. So it's like, yo, I fuck with it because of that. But it's like, yo, if you knew what I can do with this for real, like, and you can get it, bro, like we winning. And my man asked me today, like, what do you really plan on doing with the brand? I'm like, yo, I plan on doing exactly what I've been saying, and that's to be able to. Like, yo, next weekend, yo, come see me at blah, blah, blah. I'm hosting an event, blah, blah, blah. Bring everybody, bring your kids for free, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to have this person performing, that person
XYZ,
performing.
yeah, you
Yeah,
have
but
to
be able to, like, you know what? I plan on every platform that I ever touch is always to be personable with everyone I deal with. If you catch me on Twitter, you could talk to me. I'm probably gonna start on like Black Cloud, like a question thing on the page where like people can ask questions and I can like talk to them
Exactly, yeah.
occasionally, but not so often because I'm just like, you know, I do too much.
Yeah, no, you figure that out as you go. I mean,
Yeah, I wanna-
Speaking of that, we got a question.
Oh yeah.
The Instagram, we'll hit that in a little bit. But what I do want to know too is, what's your advice, man, for someone that's, right now currently in that Black Cloud and You know, they don't see that. They don't see that.
They don't see there in the black cloud.
No, they see they're in a black cloud, but they don't see that they're what emerges from it.
Yeah, alright. So I have somebody, yo, I love to death, Like I wouldn't say, I don't say like I would die for somebody because dying for somebody is stupid, but I would live for this person, right? He faces the ultimate black cloud to where like he doesn't even feel like himself. Like he goes through the greatest depression, and I love this dude, man. And I try to talk to him about it all the time and try to get him to understand like a lot of this shit is self-care. Bro, like you gotta figure out how to like make yourself feel good first, and then you can face other problems. Bro, I can't go outside and know like, yo, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, but I don't feel good internally. Like you can't fight the outside world if you battling something within. So it's like, yo, you have to really focus on you, and that's not like, yo, better job, because a better job don't put you in a better mindset. Having more money in your pocket don't change who you are and what you have to fight, bro. Now it's a bigger battle because now you got money and you fucked up in the head, yo. You know what I mean? You have gambling problems and you get a better job. Like, you
He's
fucked
like, I just
up
got
for
more
real.
money to gamble.
Yeah, like, yo, I'm doing drugs, I'm popping pills, I'm drinking alcohol. This is how I get by, yo. But then you get more money to get by, you probably end up dead. So it's like you gotta really fight some shit.
So let's talk about self-care. What were some things that you had did, like acts of self-care for yourself? I hear a lot of people, you know, I've listen. People are wild. People say wild things, but I've heard people say, "Oh, self-care is selfish." Duh. Obviously.
No shit. But it's like, what's wrong with being selfish?
Exactly. And so there's so much. I've heard so many people make comments like, oh, you know, that's being selfish. Oh, like I remember how selfish I felt the first time. Like after my daughter was born, we didn't go on like a date until like 8 months later after she was born, and I was like, oh my God, I want to be with her. And he's like, babe, like chill. And that moment right there for me was an act of self-care, getting out. And it's like, it's not selfish to want time to yourself.
Yeah.
It's not selfish to want to take care of yourself, maybe take a long bath or go out to eat with friends or whatever. So what were some things that you did that were acts of self-care for yourself?
In the beginning, it was like, I was trying to be spiteful. I had kind of like, felt like, somebody did me dirty. It was like, this like 6 years ago, somebody did me dirty, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna come back and be the strongest, sexiest, flyest. Like, yo, I'm about to kill this shit. She gonna be like, why I do him like that?
That's funny.
But that turned into like, that turned into like, yo, I'm not entertaining no females. And I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of what I'm going through right now too. It's so happen how that play. Like when you don't learn something from a mistake or something you're going through, that shit come back tenfold.
Yeah, it'll be like, nah, we gotta learn this.
Yeah, so it's like now I'm going through it again. But how I started, it was like, yo, like I'm gonna really crush this shit. Like everybody gonna want me. She gonna be jealous. And then I'm like, yo, I'm really in the gym every day. I'm really around kids every day. As soon as I start doing that shit and stop caring about what made me start doing it more so than I care about doing this act now. Bro, that's when I became a gym teacher. Like shit just start working out. I'm like, yo, so when you think less of what people think about you and you think more about what you think of yourself and what you need to do, bro, you gonna be great, bro. And don't get me wrong, it's hard. Like some black clouds are just like, yo, having like being like I don't think I'm ever gonna be better than this. Or sometimes be like, yo, I remember how fucked up I was. Like you'll be feeling great, like I'm having a great time, I'm doing great, but then you'll feel like, damn, I made somebody feel fucked up 2 years ago when I said this, and so on and so forth, or what I did to them. Like, yo, that shit personally, that made me feel bad. I could be living great, things could be moving smooth as fuck, and I think for like 2 seconds, like, yo, but remember when you treated that person? Because I loved people who I treated like dog shit.
Yeah.
And that, like, if I could right now, I would, like I said it before, like, I would take my ex back and be with her. And when I said it last time, I thought about, like, I wouldn't take her back. She would have to take me back. But it's like, in reality, I would be with her because it's like, yo, I know how fucked up I was. Do I know it would work? I don't know. But for me, from how I feel, like, I know what I fucked up at. Like, we didn't win the game because of me. So if I get that shot again, I'll shoot. I don't know if I'm going to make it a miss, but I'm going to shoot.
You know that you developed and you
Yeah. I mean, I've developed. I'm not going to say I'm 100% better, but I know exactly what needs to be worked on, so it's not going to be a point where it's like, all right, I lost this job because of this, so when I get my next job, let me make sure I don't do that made me lose my job. I might lose this job again, but for a whole different reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that, so I feel like,
that.
yeah, I mean, it be like that sometimes.
Everything happens for a reason, though.
Nah, everything does happen for a reason. It definitely happens for a reason.
Teaches you so much, right? You know what I mean? Like all those.
But I feel like you got to be looking for like I think I forgot what page. I probably do too many pages. I don't know what page I posted it on, but it was like, yo, when something happens, you gotta look at it like it happens for a reason, but more so like not what happened. Like, oh my God, why this happened to me? Yeah, like not why it happened to me, but more so like what's the reasoning behind it happening? Why am I single? Because when I was in a relationship, I didn't even care about myself enough to realize that I'm hurting somebody else. That's why I'm single. You know what I mean? Like, you got to realize that, bro. Like, you got to realize the part that you play in your day-to-day life. Like, oh, the world would be so much better without me. No, your world would be better without you. Get the fuck out your way. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, our question was actually pretty deep, and it was, how do you stop someone from wanting to kill themselves? That was a question we received on the Instagram.
That's
So.
hard.
How do you stop someone
How do you
from
stop?
wanting to kill themselves? I don't know. I think that will boil you down to being you have to know the person
Exactly.
to really know. Like, you'll have to know what they're going through. You'll have to kind of like know things that'll make them want to consider not doing it.
For sure.
I'll have to know, like, yo, you really love your cousin so much that if your cousin asks you, you'll at least consider not doing it. So then we got to build off of that.
Yeah.
You gotta build off your cousin. Your cousin gonna have a kid one day. Imagine how you gonna feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, it gotta go from there and really build on personal relationships.
For sure, and like to go off of that question about like the suicide talk, just recent, my client today just recently, you know, she came in and she was venting to me. Her coworker's child killed himself, and he was 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I think about the level of sadness and isolation it takes to have to do that, you know what I'm saying? And
for a child, bro, that's so
dude.
sad.
And I think about like truly, like, I've dealt with too many people that have outlived their children. You know what I'm saying? The way that this world shakes, the way, you know, when the way that this world, I guess, reacts to children, you know, dying and leaving this earth. I mean, especially when it's by their own hand.
Wow.
That doesn't happen. These are not isolated incidents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These things, you don't just wake up one day and be like, all right, today's the day. Like, these are built up on top of each other. And, you know, I talk a lot about being there for each other and uplifting each other. And I feel like these are things that, it's not a cure. You know what I'm saying? Because that at that point, if you're, you know, a young child having suicidal thoughts, then we need to get some mental help in there somewhere.
Right.
And we need some sort of professional help. But you know, in the midst of all of that, we also need to have good support systems.
Right.
And a big part of having a good support system, I think, is those people within the support system aware enough to see certain signs. You know what I'm saying? And really take them seriously. Very, very seriously, because this is, like, listen, if that kid gets over, you know, the suicidal thoughts, then you can't just brush it off. That could be an adult that eventually has suicidal thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
I think a lot of it got something to do with, like, how you talk to people, man. Like, you go outside, you don't know what someone's facing. It's like, yo, somebody, we talked about the knocking on the wall thing and knock them over. It goes the same in a negative mindset. Like, if someone's like, yo, I'm gonna kill myself, I ain't do it today, I ain't do it yesterday, and then it could be that one
little
thing,
trigger.
Them over the edge.
yo, it could be that one thing that, like, yo, you know what, yo, that's why the fuck I feel this way, and it's just over. Like, it makes me sad because, yo, that should be the furthest thing away from anybody's mind, but more so a 13-year-old kid.
But for them, that's a logical ending.
No, I'm saying it should be the
you're right, it
furthest
should be
thing.
the
But, like,
furthest
yo,
thing. You should
there
be
should be
think
so
about-
many outlets before you think about that. Don't get me wrong. You be like, yo, I'm about to break this shit out of my arm. I'm about to jump off. You know what I mean? But never like, yo, I'm about to end it. It's like end it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
started.
That's the extreme. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
it's like, yo,
saying?
it gotta be
If
other
suicidal
room.
thoughts is at the bottom of this pyramid, death is at the top. And there are all these different layers that you have to get through to convince yourself
to
that,
really, yeah,
that this
to get that
is
close.
the choice that I'm gonna make. You know, because listen, whether you're a kid or you're an adult, that choice can't be easy.
No, it can't be.
You know.
I mean, I'm a firm believer. Like all right, so like I used to stare in the mirror a lot. This was like 6th and 7th grade. Not a lot of people, the kids know that, but and my son knows that because I tell him to do it. I feel like it's healthy. I'm like, yo, when you go in the mirror and talk to yourself, but look yourself in your eyes while you're doing it, so you can really, really talk to yourself. And I used to tell myself certain things like that I was going through with my family that I didn't like, that I wanted to happen. Like I used to hate Lil Romeo. I used to hate Lil Bow Wow. Like how the fuck they got all this bread, bro? Like I ain't seen a brother or sister yet. Like yo, if I get a real life piece of bread, I gotta share that shit with my brothers and sisters. Like I need that bread, yo. Like that real bread. Like yo, girls all around the world bread. You know what I mean? Like I used to hate them, so I used to look in the mirror like, yo, you're gonna be big and you're gonna be famous and you're gonna have everything you need. But at the very, very same time, I used to be like, yo, you're never gonna make it to the NBA though. Like you got gap teeth. I never seen nobody in the NBA with no gap teeth. I never seen nobody. I got my finger cut off when I was like 7, and my other finger like sliced down the middle was when I was in the 7th grade. So I'm like, yo, you're never gonna make it to the NBA with like your fingers like that. Like you're just never gonna make it. And I'm like, yo, like I never made it to the NBA. So I'm like, yo, the power of word and the power of thought, and we don't think about spelling as actually being a quote unquote spell upon yourself. So you gotta be careful what you say to yourself, what you think, because your thoughts become your actions.
Yeah, you speak it
into
sometimes,
existence.
yeah, you speak it into existence, and I'm definitely a firm believer in that. And even if it's not so, you know, it's sometimes it sounds so cliche, but I really, really do believe it. You know, like your body knows all that energy. You know,
Yo, you ever seen the shit where they had a big ass bowl of water, and they put this fucking like I want to say it's wood or metal, and they tap the side of the water and they make the vibrations in the water.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, your body is 80% water. Something very, very close to that. So do you know how vibrations really work? After I looked at that, I'm like, bro, everything fucking matters.
That's why music hits us
Yo,
deeper.
that's why, yeah, bro, music hits you so deep because, yo, a certain sound would have your whole inside of your shit reform, like, and turn into something else. So it's like, yo, those same thoughts, it was some Asian, I want to say Chinese. I'm trying to be very, very, like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely an Asian influence when they were doing that, because they're trying all different types of medicine and then also dealing with like music. Oh, okay, let's have this kind of influence in India as well, mostly because obviously it's in Asia. But yeah, all of Asia was kind of experimenting with that, and they kind of just took it a little further, you know,
Yeah.
especially with the gongs, like doom.
yeah. Did you see the one when it was an Asian scientist and he did it like a real experiment where they spoke a word into water. I forgot how they did it. It sounds crazy, bro. But they like, it was something like that. And they put the water in the freezer and froze the water, and how the water like it freezes a certain way. Like they did like a happy thought or something, and the pattern looked like a fucking snowflake. And then they did this other like bad thought, and that nigga like some type of warrior was in that shit. Like,
And they did that with a plant. They had two plants.
Yeah,
in
right.
case- Yeah.
We were talking about that. I think one of us found it. I think you found it. You yell at the plant.
Yeah.
Like there was two right? It was
Yeah,
one
one
you
was
yell at
that
the
you
plant.
say positive things to this plant. You just say only good things to the plant. And then the other one that was in glass as well.
Like you
People
ain't
say
shit,
you said bad things. The one that was talked to the worst was starting to dwindle and get just fade away. The other one was so lively and colorful and whatnot. I'm like, do you understand how crazy that is? They did the same thing also with water, but I think it was like some type of crystal.
Right.
And then the more negative the energy was
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
it became like all dark and whatnot. And then the positive energy.
Like, bro,
That's why
yeah.
some people are like into crystals like that, but that's what that does
Remember
because
the
of
fruit?
energy.
Remember
Oh, yeah.
the fruit yesterday you posted?
Oh yeah, the fruit. Like if you put like one rotted bad fruit next to
Oh
other
yeah,
fruits,
fuck up the rest of the fruit.
Absolutely.
But then it's like that's why we like living on top of each other in the inner city is like I'm not saying get out. I'm talking about, I think you got to get out mentally. You can't physically just leave. I would, if I got $1 million right now, the first thing I wouldn't do, I wouldn't get out. Like, I'll leave for like 2 weeks and go see my son in Kansas. But I'm coming back and I'm going to rebuild something. Because I'm like, yo, I'm big on really being able to, everybody can't get to the $1 million. Everybody can't get to the point where they leave. So it's like, yo, I would love to make everything better I want everybody to be as equal as possible. But I also want us to know how powerful we are from our thoughts and the things that we do and say go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like I never was really told growing up too tough that somebody loved me. So in every relationship, and even with my son, it's like I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And in the relationships, especially, it was like, yo, all you do is say you love me. You don't know how to show it. I'm like, damn, that's a whole nother battle. Like, bro, I had never been shown it too crazy, never been told it too crazy. I got to a point where I can tell you I love you, and then the other battle now is to show you, like, damn, man, I'm fucked up.
Body language counts for a lot of
Yeah,
things.
like,
Like
you know
60
what I
or 70% of like how we respond primarily to things.
But you know how good a hug feel when you feel fucked up
God.
without telling somebody, like, I need a hug, they can be like, you need a hug.
I'm a firm believer that sometimes you just, and most times you really don't need to give people advice. Sometimes you just gotta let them vent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, let
facts.
somebody cry. Like, let somebody do you without you saying how they need to heal.
Right.
Like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. How about no? How about I just want to cry?
Nah, yeah.
And I have these very deep feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Crying is great.
Yeah. Oh, I cry almost every day.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm due for a tear or two.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. I've been holding it back for about a few weeks now. I feel like when it happens, it's just gonna happen, and I'll be good. Like,
That's
but
crazy.
I've
You
been
know,
holding
the
it.
longest I was for me, 6th grade,
Wait, what?
middle school.
As long as you ain't haven't cried since then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you,
No, I swear, and I don't even swear, since 6th grade.
how you do, man?
Yeah,
How you
right?
do?
That baby do.
Shit, I cry at least once a week.
Nah, but see, what happened was, I cried every day for like a year and a half. Like I'm talking about balls to the wall, crying to the point where this shit damn near burnt my cheek coming down.
Oh, when it gets swollen.
Yeah, like, yo, I was crying
Right?
every day, but it was like, yo, like, I'm telling somebody how much I care about them.
Yeah.
I'm not showing them, but they're, like, sticking by my side because they believe in me. And then it get to a point where it's like, yo, like, the words are not helping. Like, the words not helping. So I'm crying because I'm like, yo, I don't want to hurt myself, but I know I'm hurting. But I don't want to see somebody else hurting from my
Your
pain.
action.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
something I'm doing. And especially when I know it's like, it comes from pain. Like, if I go do something like joyful to me and you hurt, and I'm like, shit, you fucked up. I had fun. But it's like, yo, I'm hurting and you're hurting too. Like, nobody's happy, bro. Like, that shit had me crying every day, bro, for a whole, like, year and some change. And it just was like, I haven't cried in a while. I've cried recently, like, maybe a couple months ago, but not in a while. But it's very, very healthy, bro. Like, it's the most natural thing I think you could do for, like, cleansing-wise for your body. Like, that happens. Like, you don't got to take nothing to cry. You know what I mean? Like, you don't got to go take a detox and be like, I'm clean. Like, nah, you can cry and clean up a little bit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure.
crying is definitely cool. But we grow up, like, when I was in high school, I was hanging out with street dudes. They was like, yo, no F&Es, no feelings and emotions. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I
How the
think
fuck you deny a feeling and emotion?
for the longest, I always would think that crying was a sign of weakness. So then when my father passed away when I was 4, he's like, oh, make sure you take care of your mom.
Right.
So in my brain,
never
it's like,
gonna
you gotta
cry.
be
You
strong.
gotta be
But he
strong.
never said don't cry.
Right, but
But
that's how you
But
took
you
your
equate it
perception
to
of
it,
what it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, so when I saw my mom cry, I was like, I gotta be strong and I'm not gonna cry. But obviously, I stopped in 6th grade because I was like, my grandfather died and that was the last time.
you teared
So I
up.
was like, ever since, it's like I threw my emotions right away. Like it was just gone.
Nah,
and then
yeah.
and then when my grandma passed away and whatnot, you would think I would cry then. Absolutely nothing.
Nah,
And I was like, whoa,
I'm
I've
emotional
gone
roller
too far.
coaster,
Yeah,
man.
you get used to
Grand.
being hard. You
Yeah.
know, and then I feel like being soft, yo, is revolutionary.
But what's like, you know what I mean? Like you can say being soft,
I mean,
but like it don't mean
soft, not in a negative
That's what I'm
connotation.
saying. Though,
for sure.
but some people, it's like a hard person. Like, yeah, it's soft. That nigga soft. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And I'd be like, yeah.
I ain't soft, bro. I cry in front of the thuggiest motherfucker,
Yeah.
bro. I ain't afraid to my clicking guns together, bang bang. Bro, I'm crying, bro. Like you don't see that kid over there getting stomped on, bro.
Right.
Poor little kid, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. He getting stomped on. Like, nah, world star.
Yeah.
And they take out their phones.
Yeah, like me, I'm sitting there crying. I'm trying to help. I probably like. I'm not gonna lie, yo. Kids come first before anything, bro. And then it's some old people. I'm gonna say some because some motherfuckers just because you get older don't mean you got smarter or your heart grew. So I be looking like, oh, you still an evil bitch. Like, you know what I mean? You deserve that. Like,
Yeah.
you deserve. No kid deserve it. Like kids are dickheads, bro. I'm a dickhead.
Yeah, but they're also not in positions of power either.
But I'm saying I feel like I've always been empowered. Like I've been 6'10" since I was in the 8th grade. So I'm like, yo, I've always pretty much been in control physically of anything I wanted to be in control of. So I don't know what it feels like to be vulnerable in that state, like physically vulnerable, like you know what I mean. So I always look at it like, some kids can handle their own if they wanted to. Like, yo, some kids can really fuck some shit up if they wanted to.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But like older people, they can't. You know what I mean? Some men can. They feel like that make them feel less of a man. I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, you should feel less of a man because you can go learn how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Some kids don't got them outlets, bro. You walk outside every day, you don't know how to defend yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some people fear defending themselves.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not confrontational. Like, I don't want to hurt nobody. But defending yourself is totally different.
Yeah, for sure.
I think wild when I think defense. I don't think where we live at. I think like if we was in the wild right now and a lion ran up on me, like he gonna get the best of me.
Yeah.
But I ain't about to go out like no chump. Like you know what I mean? Like, I'm about to put I'm about to put my hands up. But I'm not.
I'm not gonna learn today.
Yeah, like, nah, I mean we both might come out here like you not gonna be fucked up, but you gonna go home like yo, some human got a little shot, bro. That shit fucked my eye up a little bit. But you know I came out with his head. Like, yeah, but you gotta really learn how to and defending yourself. A lot of it, like, is not even physical. Like, I work in an alternative school, so in alternative school, they teach you how to do a therapeutic hold.
Yeah.
Right? Because the kids get wild. And,
Oh, I know.
yeah, I know, yeah, like, I know how to do it, but no kid get wild with me. And my first thing be like, yo, it's because you 6'10". Niggas is not trying to be out here rumbling, but they don't care. Like it's like jail. It's like, yo, I'm taking that big nigga.
It's a
down.
whole set of
He
different
the first
rules.
nigga I'm taking down. He big. I'm poking him.
The mentality of middle schoolers is beyond me, honestly, because they look at you like a giant and they feel like they're David, and they're just
Yeah, they're gonna take you
It's like,
down.
I'm
But then
taking
I'm
you
like,
down.
yo, you have to be able to really communicate. Like, the kids respect me so much. Like, if I miss work, and they was telling me that yesterday when I did go to work, they was like, yo, you every time you out, yo, the kids act up.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm like, yo, that ain't my fault. But it's like, it shouldn't be that way though. I'm like, they like, what are you doing that makes them like not behave when they not here or behave when you here? I'm like, in all honesty, yo, I give them the time of day, bro. Like, I give them that time of day. Like, they really appreciate the time that they have with me, and like that shit makes me feel excellent. Cause it's like, yo, I'm not saying I want them to act up when I'm not there.
Yeah.
But I feel good when I come back and they listen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they listening
Because
today. Like,
that's like a control. That's like a control.
And not even
set
that, you
right
feel
there.
like you're appreciated. You feel like you matter with it.
no, yeah. I mean, but you have to. Like, I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's because it has something to do with kids. Like, but like it make me feel good that like how I'm sitting here sharing stories every day. Like, every teacher coming in, like, yo, why they always asking you to share a story? Because I have story time with 7th and 8th grade boys. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
they want to know what it feel like to be a man. Like, I'll tell them men shit. And some of this shit don't be PG-13. So it'll be like, yo, I want to know. Because I look at them, my little brothers. Like, those are my little brothers. Like, I want you to grow up and know, like, yo, across the street is this. On this side of the street is that. But you can also go each way equally.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I try to really give them a fair shot at life and living and understanding certain things. And I give them a little truth every now and then because I'm not in total agreement with school, so I be in there
Hold
doing
on,
my
I got a
jobs.
question for you since I'm in that system as well.
Right.
Because so based on being in the system and teaching, how do you feel when an administration comes and you have to do this, you have to blah blah, and then you're looking at them like, when's the last time that you've been with these students?
Bro,
like,
I've
I feel
done
you're
that.
so cookie cutter
Yeah.
with your skill sets. Like I feel like your education, the teaching system needs to be updated. It hasn't been updated in a long
But
time.
you can't. I've learned that you can't really go at them with it because it's someone above them. And the reason why administration is fucked up is because the people who are in charge of the administrators is like they don't know how to deal with kids.
No.
The administrators might have an idea, but it's like, yo, they gotta listen to somebody too. Until you talking to the person that don't gotta listen to nobody, you talking to deaf person.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, you know what, yo, what we talking about?
Right?
And it's very black
Every teacher conference or teacher meeting I had or staff meeting, nothing was about the kids. It was about doing more paperwork and more of this. But then I'm like, yo, in reality, when I do that, I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm just gonna keep being real with the kids, bro. They love me for that. Like, yo, I don't give a fuck. If I leave here, every job that I've left, that was as far as I've only really worked like teacher jobs and shit like that. Every kid, like 90% of them, I would say 90, to be fair, they fuck with me. The other 10%, like maybe I was a little too hard on them and not enough. You know what I mean? Like, I was just still figuring shit out. Like,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? Every kid now, like, they fuck with me. You know what I mean? Unless they just don't want to fuck with nobody. But they fuck with me. Like, I understand them a lot more. I was that kid. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, administration, bro, they say the wildest, dumbest shit in the
Absolutely.
world.
It
But
is
then,
dumb.
It's like,
but I'm like, if you're here,
yeah.
like if you're there and you're like not saying you're anti the administration, but you're more like, yo, I don't agree. Just do what you can within those walls and be like, you know what, all right, I'm gonna definitely do more paperwork because they asked for it.
For sure.
But I'm gonna still do me 10 times more now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really come in here. Like, I can give them treats. I'm giving motherfuckers a little bit more treats than I've ever had. I can sit down with them and talk to them for 10 minutes. I'm not gonna look at my phone for 1 minute. You know what I mean? Like, so you just gotta really just like be yourself. That's ultimately what it's about, man.
Right.
Yeah. And real quick before we bring this full circle and wrap it up, we talked about story time with the kids, like telling stories from personal experience,
Right.
you know. And like personally, I think stories are so paramount to our survival
Right.
as humans because like before we had this, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can't
Right.
see this because y'all listening. But before we had this, we would sit, you know, and we would tell our stories and we would depend on our ancestors who are still alive to tell us how to survive and how to do certain things, you know what I'm saying? And so you sharing that human experience, they don't listen, you either learn it from somebody else or you learn it on your own. But if you don't have one of two things, how are you getting your information?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's so easy to, I feel like, mold a kid into something that maybe that they're not, you know, and it not even bring out the bad in them,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But just kind of like give them no choice, no other choice but to take the easy route or take the bad route. Because like y'all said earlier, it's easy to do bad. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of self-restraint, a lot of care to be able, you know what, I'm gonna do the right thing, you know. And those stories that you tell, that vulnerability, those kids are always gonna remember that, and you're gonna leave something in them that nobody can replace.
Yeah, I hope they don't remember all of them. Some of them was wild. Some of the stories I shared was wild. Like, I'm like, yo, man, y'all right there where I can share them, but it's wild. I
At
can't.
the end of the day, they're gonna appreciate that.
Nah, yeah, I hope they do, man. I hope they
We
do.
got like
With all that too, man, I can see that you like to treat people the way you would like to be treated.
I do so a lot more now than I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it takes going through a lot of shit
Right.
to get there to do that. But that's one thing I always wish more people did. You know what I mean? Like the most simplest thing you always heard as a kid here and there.
Right.
You heard it here and there. A lot of people always said it all the time, but people actually do it.
Right.
You know, just treat others the way you would want to be treated.
I mean, it's kind of. I feel like you get distracted as an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Back
you
to
know
what we
what
were
I mean?
talking about
Like, yo,
before.
yeah,
Like
like,
through
yo,
everything, you forget that. Or
Yeah.
Even young as a kid, you know, you see the kids. That's why I always try to remind, you know, like my stepdaughter and like even the young one, the kids, like that's what I think we should really be instilling in these kids too. Like, yo, just treat others like anytime. Even like one of my friends' kids, anytime he acts up or he does, I'm like I literally ask him, would you like that to be done to your mom? Would you like that to be
Right.
done to your brother?
Supposed to be,
Like
yeah.
straight up, that's just how I do. Like,
Right.
and then they're like, oh no, wait a minute, you're right. Just treat others, man. Just treat like all that shit. Like
The
even
golden
with the whole
rule.
mental health, if you feel like someone's going through, feel like someone wants to kill themselves, treat others how you would want to be treated. If you feel like, how would you want to be treated in that situation?
That's it.
I think it goes just full circle with a lot of different things. It's something kind of so simple, but we just don't. You know, we get caught up in it. We start
Caught up in
going
your
going
regular day
around
life and
ways.
forget that the world is much bigger than you.
And we're also at the same time though we're all very much alike. At the same time.
Yeah.
So just treat others like, you know, I'm gonna treat you exactly the way I would want you to treat me. We're the same. Same with me and you. Like it don't matter if you're female or not.
The same to a certain extent. I understand what you mean by the word like the same in regards to like certain things that make us happy. But one thing I like to follow by is like, you know, kind of I guess adding on to treat people the way we want to be treated. Treat people the way that they want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of taking it maybe a little bit out of context, but like if maybe somebody is a shitty person and you know that they like being treated like shit and you and that's how they treat other people like shit, you know what I'm saying, and it won't apply to that person. Treat people the way that you want to be treated because they like being treated like shit, you know.
That's a good different point to it.
I say that only because you know, if somebody it's simple. It's like, you know, at home I talk to my daughter, we have a rule, boundaries, and respect is the word of